Alright, I'm gonna start doing a thing where I just take two random rap artists, and as long as I have multiple releases by them, they can be very different. I'm just gonna pair them together and go from there. As I said before, I don't think any of my regular viewers care about hip hop, but maybe someone out there does, and I just like going through my albums, and once I do it, I put it aside and I can forget about it. So I'm gonna keep going with it. So we're gonna start with Redman. Redman is a rapper from Newark, New Jersey, and his first album was called What the Album in 1992. And that's regarded as a classic album, but I came on board with 1994's There Is a Dark Side. So Redman's not a gangsta rapper, but he's not a political rapper, he's not a funny rapper. He's just lyrical with fun wordplay, raps a lot about smoking weed, just something for everyone. And I love that album along with the one after that, Muddy Waters, which came out in 1996 on Def Jam. And I think a lot of the production was done by Eric Sermon. I should mention that Redman was also part of the group Def Squad, which I think just had one album, but that was Eric Sermon, Redman, and Keith Murray. And I got a Keith Murray album or two around here somewhere. I'll try to track those down. Docs Dename 2000. This is actually 1998 this came out on Def Jam. And just this whole, like, the cover and the time, it was just such a Def Jam album for the time, if you know what I mean. That was definitely the biggest label in hip-hop at the time. You know, that was, DMX, Redman, Ja Rule. That's just a couple names, but again, Def Jam were the label of the 90s, easy. And this was a solid album. Same applies to Malpractice, the one after that in 2001. Just too many skits on here, and definitely a little bit of a decline. But Redman's still a rapper that I respect. So I might as well go into the Method Man and Redman albums. Method Man, of course, from Wu-Tang Clan. And I got a lot of early Wu-Tang stuff, so I'll probably go over that one day. My best friend from high school, this was like his favorite album. Tupac was his favorite rapper, but this was a CD that was just a go-to for him. What are the guest appearances on here? Ja Rule, LL Cool J, Ghostface Killah. And the big hit here was Rottweiler, which you gotta admit to this day is a pretty impressive beat. Then in 2009, they put out Blackout Part 2. I don't recall much from this, but I do remember that I liked it. City Lights with Bun B, Mrs. International with Eric Sermon, This Is For All My Smokers, and look, Ayo with Socrates from Toronto. Forgot about him. I think he signed with Redman or Method Man, but I don't think he put out a major label release, not to my knowledge. Okay, so we're gonna go way down south for the next rapper. This is Trick Daddy, straight out of Miami. So this was www.thug.com, and this came out in 1998 on Slip and Slide Records. His old stuff was definitely his better stuff. I haven't put this album on in forever, but Definitely a lot of sexual related lyrics. I'd still put him somewhat as a gangster rapper, but despite coming from that 90s Miami scene, he wasn't with the bass music. It was definitely its own thing. And the next album, Book of Thugs, to me is his crowning achievement. This came out in 2000 on Slip and Slide, but by this point he had moved on from independent to Atlantic. And the best songs on here are Thug for Life, Walking Like a Hoe, Belt My Money, Could It Be with Twista. And probably the best song on here is Ho But You Can't Help It. Next up is Thugs R Us. Once again, Slip and Slide, Atlantic. I don't think Trick Daddy was one of the owners of Slip and Slide. I just think that's the independent label that he was with for a long time. And the weird thing about this album is that I feel like Trick Daddy isn't even on like half the songs. That's kind of not a gimmick, but kind of a thing that Trick Daddy had where he wouldn't be on all the songs on his albums. And the big hit on here was Take It to the House. And yeah, I haven't heard this one in a while. But that album cover brings me back to high school. One thing I remember is some female friend of mine when I was 17, it was my birthday, and she goes, let's go to the mall, buy a CD. And this is what I chose. And then she saw the Take It to the House video, and she was like, what is this trash? But, yeah, Trick Daddy, not the best, technically not the best rapper, but I always liked his music. And the last album I bought from him was Thug Holiday. This came out in 2002. I think this was my first year of college this came out. And the single was In the Wind with CeeLo and Big Boy. I like Belt Mine. Get That Feeling with Rick Ross. Gangsta with Scarface and Birdman. And then Trick Daddy would put out, I'd say, several more albums. I'm just not too familiar with them. And he always seemed like a bit of a character, kind of a funny guy. And that's it. See you on the next one. Bye.